All right, so we're starting the day off, or not starting, but capping the day off with this what is this? This is a 2004 Dodge Durango. I'm starting a video because this is a crank no start, and the customer is 100% adamant that this thing does not have a different PCM in it. Based off the code that the shop gave me, I knew immediately. I've seen the code before when replacing PCMs on Dodges. So I have the registration in my hand, and the scanner just went ahead and did the auto scan and is pulling up this VIN number here. This is not the VIN for this vehicle. So, yeah. I'm going to verify that the paperwork is, in fact, the correct VIN. I mean, this appears to be the registration for this vehicle. And then we're going to go from there. I told the shop that I didn't think that somebody was being honest with us about this. Now, the story behind this is that the customer actually took this to Mr. Tire, and they did a heater core. They pulled the dash out. Then he started having problems with this vehicle. He took it back, and they had it for a few hours and did something, and that's all we know. But that's not the VIN for the vehicle. So this is now strike 2, where I'm telling this shop or this customer that this is not the PCM for this vehicle. And I think that's our problem. So let me do a little bit more digging. All right, I'm back. Did a code scan on this. Skim secret key not stored in PCM. I've seen this before. I do a lot of Chrysler stuff, a lot of Chrysler programming. And I see that code when there is a skim module component. In my experience, it's almost always the PCM. But I suppose it could be other modules on the network as well. But original VIN, current VIN. I'm trying to cover the customer information. And there's the VIN of this vehicle. So this, as I told the customer, this PCM has been changed and it has not been programmed. The customer is adamant that they didn't do this, they didn't authorize this, they don't know why this is the case. It's kind of interesting how often I'm running into this now that I'm mobile again. I see this a little bit too often, and a lot of the times I will say that if somebody's not being honest, because that's the case, unless somebody's playing a trick on this guy and just put another PCM in this thing. All right, back, going live. I got the 508 out. I'm not quite sure what that is. It is a blade key. And seeing how it's a skim vehicle, I'm going to assume that we're going to have to grab a pin. And there's our pin. Okay. Go to hot function. It's not what I'm looking for. Well, we don't have a learned key. Not that I needed any further. Well, I want to see what this is. So I didn't see that in the And I've seen this before where, for whatever reason, the IM508 mistakes that for a misfire code. All right, I'll be back. All right, so back to the 508. I'm going to go to Hot Functions, MO keys. PCM replaced, even though we're being told that it wasn't. Please enter the vehicle pin. I'll be back. All right, got the pin. Now, if I remember correctly, this should do two things. One, write the correct VIN into the vehicle. Two, as you can see, program the pin and do a marriage oh God, hold on. And this just continues to get more and more interesting. So it looks to me that the WCW, I forget what those acronyms mean on this vehicle. Looks like this has also been replaced and has the wrong VIN in it. So they just went ahead. You know what? While I'm here, I wonder what else that they I wonder what else they threw at this thing. This is freaking ridiculous, man. I need to just get busy, rock this out, and get out of here, man. This is ridiculous. Well, I'm just leaving the shop where I had to go diagnose the no start. No, it was a crank no start. 2004 Dodge Durango. And I spoke to the customer before I came out. Like the customer, not just the shop. And I spoke to him after. And he insists that this is the way the vehicle has been. However, something I noticed very, very interesting that he said. And he told me that Dodge will not sell him any parts for this because of a problem with the VIN. And I said, okay, what parts did they tell you they couldn't sell you? He says, any. They won't sell me any. I said, well, what part did you call them looking for? He said a PCM. At that point, I said, why are you calling Dodge looking for a part that you didn't even know that you need? So I don't think this guy's being honest. Or somebody's not being honest, because he did say that he brought this vehicle to another repair shop. They put a heater core in it. Then he started having drivability issues with it. And he brought it back to their shop. And they worked on it for 5 hours. Didn't charge him anything. Didn't tell him anything. Said he drove off. The vehicle stalled and hasn't started since. I'm going to tell you what I think. I think that he saw a certain YouTube video where somebody replaced the screen module. I think it's SKREEM/WCM module, wireless control module, which is basically the immobilizer. And there's a video out there of the PCM, the immobilizer, and the key being changed as a whole assembly, and that will have you avoid having to program the vehicle. I also scanned the key. There wasn't a video on that, but I scanned the key. The key scans. It checks out. I mean, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, well, maybe it's a situation where the coil is failing or the key is failing, but I mean, that's the bottom line is that the key components of the vehicle security system don't have the correct VINs in them. And that's it. That's the end of the story. I just found it really interesting when he said, yeah, I called Dodge looking for those parts already. How did you know you needed those parts?